Malapit na.
Yeah, live na.
Yung, ikaw na.
Hello, good evening po. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to those that are live streaming with us and zooming with us. We would like to thank this evening the presence of Congen attorney of Jose Victor Chan Gonzaga, and also the representative of the Bureau of Treasury, Mr. Mark Hong, and also from the consulate in Washington, Ms. Camille Bravo. In behalf of the Cayman Bayanihan Community Group here in the Cayman Islands, we welcome you all, and I hope this will be a very fruitful and informative evening for all of us. And I hope we will learn a lot, and hopefully, um, it will be a enlightening evening for all of us. Welcome po lahat. Welcome po sa inyo.
Thank you, Michelle.
Maybe it's I think Conjen will start the ball rolling.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to say a few words kasi I wanted to focus more on the what Mark and Camille have to share with all of us. Well, unang-una, on behalf of Ambassador Romualdez, on behalf of National Treasurer Lea De Leon sa Maynila, at saka yung mga kasamahan ko po dito sa Philippine Embassy in Washington, D.C., kami nagpapasalamat sa inyo, kasi kay Kuya Dion, kay Misani, sa iyo, Michelle, and the entire Cayman Bayanihan Group for giving us this opportunity ngayong gabi na makasama kayo at mabahagi sa inyo ang mga konting mga good news or mga developments galing sa Pilipinas at galing sa embassy para tayo'y patuloy na magbayanihan para sa ikauunlad ng bayan, not only dun sa mga kababayan nating nasa Pilipinas, but yung mga kababayan na rin natin na nandyan sa Caribbean, kasama na yung mga kababayan natin sa Cayman Islands. So, we're very happy na andito ngayon kasama natin ngayon si Mark. Mark is a close collaborator ni Treasurer Lea De Leon sa Maynila on many issues. Pero ito ngayon, he will be sharing with us kung ano itong tinatawag na Premyo bonds. So I will leave it to him to explain sa kanya. Pero ang gusto ko lang i-emphasize na isa po sa priorities talaga ni Treasurer is really to allow most overseas Filipinos, particularly mga OFWs natin, na mag-participate dito sa mga offerings ng National Treasury at makibahagi, makipagbayanihan sa pag-unlad ng Pilipinas. So, I hope na at the end of the evening, makukumbinsi namin kayong lahat na mag-invest tayo dito sa Premyo Bonds for 2020. Second edition na to, as you know, Michelle. At natutuwa ako na very familiar ka na dito sa Premyo Bonds. So, I think you're one of the perfect persons talaga to lead the discussions tonight. Tapos, sinama ko rin si Camille. Si Camille is our Community Relations Officer sa Philippine Embassy. So, bagong kasama namin po siya. Mga 3-4 months pa lang namin siya nakasama sa Philippine Embassy, pero she's a very important member of the team, and very proactive, very dynamic. So, naisipan ko isama din siya kasi meron din siyang pwedeng ibahagi sa atin yung mga reintegration programs ng gobyerno for mga returning overseas Filipinos, kasama na ang OFWs. Tapos meron siyang ibabahagi sa ating programa ng Coca-Cola para dun sa mga kababayan nating umuwi na, or kahit hindi pa sila umuwi, kung meron silang mga kamag-anak or kaibigan na pwedeng sumali dito sa bagong programa ng Coca-Cola para sa mga OFWs natin at mga overseas Filipinos. So siguro I'll stop there and I'll jump in later on sa discussion, and then kung may mga tanong kayo na hindi related sa Premyo bonds or sa mga reintegration programs, I'm happy to answer also. Pero siguro lang to remind us na yung primary reason for us getting together tonight is really para matutunan natin kung ano tong Premyo bonds na to. Thank you.
Okay, maybe we can start with Mr. Mark Ong to discuss and to introduce to us Premyo Bond 2, because the one has already started last year, and they're going to start the Premyo Bond number 2 this coming 2020 this coming December, right? Yeah, okay. Mr. Mark Ong, please, you have the floor.
Thank you. First of all, thank you, Conjun JV and Miss Michelle and the Cayman Bayanihan Community Group for this opportunity to be able to share with you this initiative of the government. First of all, I would like to tell you na si Treasurer De Leon would want sana to be able to be the one to engage with our OFWs there in Cayman Islands and of course the Caribbean. As you know, nung RTV24 natin, si Treasure was able to, with the help of Conjon JB, we were able to speak with our kababayans and always lagi niya kumbaga finiflex every time nagkakaroon kami ng kausap na we were able to speak with the community groups there in the Caribbean. So, and just putting that out there. So, just to start with our initiative. So, this is the Premyo Bonds 2 that we are doing right now. So, as you know, last year nag-offer po kami ng Premyo Bonds 1 and what we did with this is that we parang capitalized on yung gustuhan ng mga Pilipino naturally na mag-gamble. Kasi as you know, lahat yung mga Filipinos dito parang would always rely on mga lotto, para umasa na manalo sila. Of course, I think you are well aware din naman na dyan sa US, yung mga Filipinos natin dyan are always still trying their luck with gambling, especially when you go to Atlantic City or sa other places there sa US. So, we recognize that parang yung natural inclination ng mga Filipinos towards gambling. Pero this time kasi, what we wanted to do is pagsamahin, parang it might sound very counterintuitive, pero pinagsama namin yung gambling in a sense, tsaka yung investment. Kasi for Premyo Bonds, you do not only get a fixed rate. Currently yung Premyo Bonds 2 po namin is 1.25%. So you don't only get that interest rate on top of your very safe investment na sigurado kang makukuha mo after 1 year, but still you have a chance to win prizes in our quarterly draws. So parang it's the best of both worlds. Kasi for Premyo, kasi di ba mapapansin nyo, if you gamble, if you play the slot machine, if you play the lotto, ang nangyayari kasi kapag natalo kayo, talo na yung puhunan nyo, kumbaga wala na siya. But for Premyo Bonds kasi, since it's a government security, let's say you invested 500 pesos, tapos let's say hindi kayo nabunot sa raffle, after 1 year, makuha nyo pa yung 500 pesos nyo. So in a sense, walang talo sa Premyo Bonds. So now that I given the background of Premyo Bonds, i-discuss ko na po yung Premyo namin and what makes it different from the first Premyo Bonds kung saan nag-invest po kayo, Ms. Michelle, I think. So for Premyo Bonds 2, we still have the cash prizes namin for the quarterly draws. So we have 50 winners of 20,000 pesos, 10 winners of 100,000 pesos, and 1 winner of 1 million pesos. Pero that assumes po kasi na kaming government, we would be able to raise or borrow 3 billion pesos. Pero kapag nalakihan namin, mas maraming mga nag-subscribe sa Premyo Bonds, mas dadami yung mga winners. So nung Premyo Bonds 1 po kasi, di ba nasabi ko na 50 yung 20,000. Since we were able to raise more than 5 billion pesos, naparami namin every quarter to 100 people yung nanalo ng 20,000. And from 10, yung 100,000 winners ay naging 15. So mas nadadagdagan siya as we raise more volume kasi give chances to more people. So for this Premyo Bonds po, for Premyo Bonds 2, yung issuance namin, yung pa-premyo namin, if you remember from dun sa Premyo Bonds 1, residential units yung mabinigay namin dun sa nanalo ng 1 million. So for every quarterly draw, yung grand winner natin na nakakuha ng 1 million pesos will get an extra residential unit for Premyo Bonds 1. Now, for Premyo Bonds 2, we make it bigger panalo, sabi nga nung aming tagline. So for those na mananalo ng 1 million pesos, meron kayong chance na manalo every quarter ng extra 3 million pesos, extra 6 million pesos, or dalawang Toyota Innovas. So ganun po ganun kalaki yung pa-premyo namin. Tapos for this one din po kasi, we wanted sana to be more inclusive to more Filipinos kasi not everyone has the money to invest. So that's why for the first ginawa namin 500 pesos lang yung minimum investment to give chance to more Filipinos to join kahit yung mga small savers natin. Pero ginawa naming mas special to, wala tong ganitong feature ng Premyo Bonds 1 na for those na mag-i-invest from 500 pesos to 20,000 pesos lang, meron pa silang extra raffle na kasali sila na there are 20 winners of 50,000 pesos every quarter. So kasali na sila sa main raffle kung saan pwede silang manalo ng 1 million pesos, pero kasali pa sila sa extra raffle na may chance silang manalo ng 50,000 pesos. So that sums up yung prizes feature ng Premyo bonds namin ngayon. Tapos in terms of the raffle mechanics naman, what happens is for every 500 pesos investment, meron kayong one raffle entry. Tapos so as in increments of 500, as you increase your investment, yung raffle entries nyo dumadami. Tapos yun yung electronically nira-raffle namin and then we get the winners. So I think from yung mga conversations namin with the OFWs and from the past RTB issuance namin where we were able to engage with our OFWs in the Caribbean, I think one of the biggest problems was the access, how to access the Premyo bonds. So that's why for this we are making it easier, especially for our overseas Filipinos to invest in the Premyo bonds kasi we partnered up with, of course, yung if narinig nyo na before, yung bonds.ph, it's with Union Bank that allows the investors to actually purchase the Premyo bonds through their phone. Pero I think this the second option is the one that is more parang apt for our overseas Filipinos there, yung overseas Filipino bank. So I think as Conjen JV told me, ang dami nating mga Filipinos in the Caribbean who are able to set up their overseas Filipino bank account. So what we did to make it even easier for our kababayans there is that naglagay na ng feature dun sa OF Bank app under bills payment. Napipindutin nyo lang yung bills payment, select Premyo bonds, input the amount that you wanted to invest, and then click OK, then review your transaction. And okay na, you have successfully invested in the Premyo bonds na po. So that's the easiest way for overseas Filipinos to invest. Kasi yung feedback from before is that how do I invest if I don't have a Philippine bank account? But as you know, through the overseas Filipino bank, pwede kang mag-set up ng account mo virtually. You don't have to go to a bank. So tinry ko siya, actually I opened an account and then it took me just 5 minutes to open an account virtually using artificial intelligence. And then you might ask, okay, nakapag-open na ako ng account, but how do I fund it? So you can fund it through mga land bank remittance partners or mga Visa Direct partners of land bank through wire transfer. And if you have an existing Philippine bank account, you can even use InstaPay to transfer funds from your Philippine bank account to OF Bank app. So I think that gives you a by the way, yung premyo, yung interest that we will get, yung 1.25% interest that we will get is subject to 20% final withholding tax. Pero yung mga premyo, kami na yung sasagot sa tax nun. So if you win 1 million pesos, as in solid na 1 million pesos yung makukuha. And maybe you were asking for our overseas Filipinos there, how do we then, let's say kayo Ma'am Michelle, mapalad na nanalo ng aming mga premyo. So how do you get your prizes? So for the cash prizes, yung 20,000, 50,000 and 100,000, you don't really have to do anything because we will automatically credit it to your account kung saan kayo nag-invest. Yes. So yung 1 million kasi may ritual kami ginagawa, yung mga grand prizes. So they go to the Bureau of the Treasury and then ini-interview sila, yung nakikita niyo sa mga game show na may hawak ng malaking cheque, ganun yung nagaganap. So in that case, you will be needing to be there presently. Pero I mean, I understand that baka mahirapan yung overseas Filipinos natin. So what we can do is secure a special power of attorney, parang authorizing someone else to receive the prizes on your behalf. Of course, yung dalawang Innova, hindi naman namin pwedeng ipa-wire yun dun sa bangko niyo. So kailangan i-claim talaga siya. Dito physically.
Sigurado.
So yeah, I think that gives a brief background on the Premyo bond. So just let me know if you have questions.
Actually, what encourages me with the Premyo Bond 1 is it's not really that you really have to be yung investing in a investment na hindi mo alam kung saan ka nag-invest, being that it's backed up by, the Bureau of Treasury, you're sure. You're in good hands, sabi nga. So, hindi pa naman kami pinalad na nanalo sa raffle. Baka dito na sa 2 manalo kami mag-asawa. But my question is, can an OFW that's already in the Philippines still invest? They can still invest?
Yes, they can still invest po. Ang requirement lang talaga is they have a Philippine bank account. So, wala namang problema as long as meron silang active bank account. Tapos kung wala, maybe they can still set up an OF bank account since they are OFWs naman po. And just to add din po pala, Ms. Michelle, since you've mentioned about Premyo Bonds 1, may feature po kasi kami ngayon to make it even easier for you, for existing holders of the Premyo Bonds to invest in Premyo Bonds 2. May switch feature kami. So you can just send an email to the Bureau of the Treasury. It's premyobonds@treasury.gov.ph saying that you wanted to switch into the new Premyo Bonds 2. So email nyo lang, may letter of instruction lang silang ibigay sa inyo, then you fill up the form, and then you email it back, and then we will do the switch for you. So hindi nyo na kailangang bumalik pa sa bank or something. We can automatically switch your existing Premyo Bonds 1 to the Premyo Bonds 2. At ang maganda pa dun, kahit sinwitch nyo na siya into the Premyo Bonds 2, kasali pa rin kayo dun sa raffle sa Q4. Kasi sa December 18, may last raffle pa tayo na bigay kami ng 1 million tsaka Condotel unit sa BGC from Double Dragon.
So, yung number ng bond ko, PB1, yun pa rin ang number ko dito sa pag naging PB2 na siya.
Yes po, kasi it is based on your NROS number, yung National Register of Securities.
Yeah.
So it's unique for you as an investor. So yun din yung gagamitin na identifier for you. Kasi yun yung nakalagay sa pangalan.
Sa mga medyo naninibago pa lang, siguro in layman's term, ang instead na as OFW, example ko na lang OFW, instead of, gambling or, or yung relative mo ay bibigyan mo ng pangloto. I think, like what you have mentioned earlier, this is better because kung tataya ka or magsusugal ka, ang money mo is totally, wala nang balik. But with this one, pag nag-invest ka, let's say, nag-invest ka lang ng 10,000 pesos, which is like, may 20 entries ka, 20 raffles. So at the end of the year, every quarter you have a chance to win, and at the end of the year, nag-gain pa ng 1.25% yung pera mo, right? So wala kang loss, and wala kang loss. And then the succeeding year, if you still want to go ahead with PB2, walang mawawala sa you. You can assume it. You can invest it forward together with the interest, right po, di ba? Together with the interest, you can invest it forward. So your money will just keep on rolling as it goes. So every December po, lahat mag-earn. Hindi kagaya ng like paluwagan na, di ba, may sasahod every month or so. Lahat ng investor will get their interest during December. Right po?
Yung interest po, you will receive it quarterly. So, hahatiin sa apat yung 1.25%. Tapos, pero yung principal nyo, yung initial that you invested, yung 10,000 nyo, sa December, upon maturity nyo, makukuha ulit.
Okay. And then, kailan po mag-i-start yung Premyo Bond 2?
Actually, it started na po last November 11, pero we gave it 1 month. Kasi usually when we do our offerings of the bonds, 2 weeks lang kami. Pero ngayon nga, realizing the conditions that we are in, and of course, we wanted po talaga sana to reach out to overseas Filipinos, hinabaan namin siya until December 11. So until December 11, you can invest in Premyo bonds.
Okay. So, ang sasali is, should make sure na between like nung 11 hanggang December 11 makapag-register May app po sa phone, di ba? Na pwedeng doon na lang mag-invest over the phone, yung app.
Yes, yes po. It's called bonds.ph tsaka yung Overseas Filipino Bank.
Okay. Bonds.ph at ano yung isa po?
Overseas Filipino Bank.
Overseas Filipino Bank.
Okay.
But yung account na yun is in peso, not in dollars.
Yes, it's in pesos.
In peso siya. Okay. May question dito. Halimbawa, bibili ako ngayon na nandito ako sa Cayman. Ano ang mechanics na gagawin nila when they want to invest?
It's the same po, just yung kung they have an existing bank account, they can just use their existing bank account. Let's say you have BDO or BPI. So dun sa bonds.ph kasi pwede nyo siyang i-fund using your BDO or BPI account. So parang wallet kasi, digital wallet. Parang let's say Venmo yung bonds.ph. So what would happen is using your BPI or your other Philippine bank accounts, ita-transfer niyo yung funds niyo to bonds.ph. Tapos dun sa bonds.ph, dun kayo bibili ng bond, i-click niyo lang. Of course, kailangan niyo muna mag-set up ng account sa bonds.ph, but it's easy din. It takes just a few minutes. Tapos on the other hand, if wala naman po silang existing Philippine bank account, pwede nilang gamitin yung Overseas Filipino Bank para mag-set up ng bank account nila virtually. Tapos i-fund nila using yung mga remittance partners ng Land Bank or Visa Direct partners. And then they can use that app din para mag-invest.
Okay. Another question is, paano kung yung misis niya ang may, or yung husband ang may account sa Pilipinas? Pwede ba yun?
It depends po kung naka-end or yung account. Kasi if yung account naman is naka-end or pwede po. Pero
okay.
if ano talaga, if nakapangalan talaga dun sa misis niya yung account, then yung bond po ay mapapangalan dun sa misis niya. So, ewan ko lang, baka kung magkaroon ng raffle, kung sino manalo, baka pag-awayan nila pag isa lang nakapangalan.
Since peso account po ito, covered ba po ito dun sa anti-theft law?
Yes, everything's covered. Kasi ano to of course, it's ano rin it's a Philippine government Philippine government security. So sigurado talaga na makukuha niyo yung pera niyo.
Para lang po din sa kaalaman nung nag-research ako Para po sa kaalaman nung mga nanonood, ang over-the-counter branches po ng mga banks na covered po ng Premyo Bond 2 ay BDO, China Bank, PNB, Land Bank of the Philippines, BBP, at Union Bank. And then, meron ding Bureau of Treasury online ordering platform na they have to go to www.treasury.gov.ph/premiobonds. And then, pwede din silang pumunta dun sa mobile app na bonds.ph or dun sa Overseas Filipino Bank mobile na andun po yung banking application. So, nag-research ako. So, it's easier for the listeners na especially pag mayroon silang mga existing na mga bank accounts with the banks that I've mentioned, mas easier na sa kanila ang access. So, yung iba naman na wala pang they can go online and kagaya nung mga na-mention na mga apps, pwede sila doon na mag-join para sa Premyo Bond 2. Pwede bang transferable ang bonds na to?
It's non-transferable po. So, nakapangalan talaga siya sa inyo, yung bonds.
What if may mangyari dun sa member? Or sa
Yes, so it's considered an asset po So yung parang continuity rules will apply din. So kung kanino nakapangalan sa will, sa last will yung assets niya, kung kanino mapupunta, then matatransfer po siya doon.
Okay. Magkano nga po uli yung minimum and maximum po na investment?
Ay, yung minimum investment po is 500 pesos. Pero yung sa maximum, wala po tayong maximum investment. Ang may maximum tayo kung how much yung investment mo na qualified sa raffle. Kasi ayaw din naman po kasi namin na may isang tao na sobrang yaman, tapos ginawa niya, binili niya lahat. Tapos,
Yung ticket sa kanya na
siya na,
lahat.
siya na yung
Oo.
nanalo. So, what we did is, 10 million pesos lang yung hangganan ng qualified sa raffle. So, if you invest 20 million, yung 10 million mo lang yung qualified sa raffle, pero yung extra 10 million mo naman, kikita pa rin ng interest. So,
Kailangan bang, can anyone join po kahit hindi OFW, or it should be an OFW para maka-join sa PB2?
It's open for everyone as long as you have a Philippine bank account naman.
Okay. Ito lang, ini-encourage nyo rin ng mga OFW not only to invest, but at the same time, may savings sila when they go home, right po? And at the same
Yes po.
time, nag-earn ng interest yung kanilang bonds na nila in-invest.
Yes po, kasi we wanted po sana to be more inclusive talaga to overseas Filipinos. Kasi even from before naman when we offer yung mga bonds namin, talagang pag i-check namin yung mga Facebook account namin, laging may mga nagko-comment na parang paano mag-invest yung mga OFW. So parang we really recognize yung kagustuhan ng ating mga overseas Filipinos to invest. And of course kasi nandun din po kasi yung mga risk. I mean, it's the reality kasi sometimes what happens is yung mga overseas Filipinos, nagpapadala sila ng pera sa mga kapamilya nila to be used for the tuition or something. Pero I mean, nandun yung reality na nagagastos siya na hindi siya nagagamit sa mga tamang paraan. So we wanted po sana to make it parang more secure para sa ating mga overseas Filipinos na let's say in 1 year mag-aaral yung anak nila kaysa ipadala nila and maybe they can invest muna tapos pagbalik nila makiklaim nila ng buo with interest pa. So we wanted sana to be more inclusive to overseas Filipinos. That's why we're also making it easier for overseas Filipinos to access the bonds, the investment products.
Okay. I have a question online. Sabi niya, the average annual inflation rate is about 2%. However, the interest rate on Premyo bonds, as mentioned, is only 1 point, this is not 1.5, it's 1.25 per annum. Can you make the interest more attractive? Although you injected price to entice OFW to invest, these prices are dependent on chance. Why not work out on an interest rate that will be available to all investors and that will beat the inflation rate? It is high time to harness the interest of OFW towards investment and not towards gambling.
So first of all po, yung sa question about parang it's the time to parang encourage Filipinos to invest, not to gamble. Hindi naman, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, hindi siya mutually exclusive. I mean, dito nga pinagsama namin, you're taking chances but still you're getting an investment. So, yun parang hindi naman ibig sabihin na nag-premyo bonds, you gambled kasi you still have a fixed rate. Pero in terms of the interest rate, yeah, we recognize the fact that inflation rate is above 2% right now, and this bond offers 1.25% interest. But we don't want to lead the market, kumbaga, kasi if of course as you can see yung central bank natin has been doing some rate cuts to stimulate the economy, and you will actually see that the market levels, the market rates are at this point, like the 1 year bond is at around 1.7. Tapos yesterday, the Bangko Sentral has just cut rates. So magkakaroon tayo makakita pa tayo ng ibang maybe we can see a further decline in rates. Let's see how the market reacts to the rate cut yesterday. But to answer that question about giving investment opportunities for our kababayans na mas mataas yung interest rate, If you know yung mga retail treasury bonds namin, if you've heard of it, yung mga retail treasury bonds namin are 3-year or 5-year government securities. And since they don't have prices, walang nakaakibat na premyo sa kanila, the rates are generally much higher than Premyo bonds. So the on average we give Premyo bonds at 3%, 3.5%. There are even treasury RTBs, retail treasury bonds that are 4.25%, 4.375%. So there are different securities that we offer that cater to different demand from investors. So isa lang po yung Premyo bonds na instead of very high interest, may prices ka. Pero available din naman ang retail treasury bonds. Then yun yung mas focused on the interest rates.
Yeah. And I don't think this is gambling, because gambling is you risk of losing it.
Yeah.
You already know at the back of your mind, you know that you're not going to win, or you're not going to get back the money that you have put in. But with this, 100%, you will get back your money plus the interest at the end of each year, or every 12 months. So we're actually enticing these people to invest instead than gambling. Hindi na sila dun sa gambling. Ito, siguradong babalik ang pera mo.
Yeah, we just wanted din po kasi to parang get people into the habit of investing, kasi as we know yung state ng financial literacy na sa Pilipinas is parang much improvement can still be done. Parang with giving them an opportunity na makapag-invest sila for just 500 pesos, alam mo mag-start na sila maging mas financially savvy nga. Para kasi hindi naman to mabilis ang initiative na parang in a snap yung mga Filipinos very financially savvy na talaga. So by giving them this, by starting with giving them the easy access to investing, parang mas liliit na nga yung reliance nila on gambling, since they know that they can get such parang good products for investing and letting their money work for them.
Yeah. And actually, the way I see it, it's the Bureau of Treasury way of teaching Filipinos to save, and at the same time, because the investment is 500 pesos, starting investment is 500 pesos, which is very minimal, which is kung OFW ka, I'm pretty sure it's affordable na. Instead of investing on mutual funds, di ba? You can invest in this Premyo bond dahil maliit lang siya, affordable lang siya. So as you go on, you will realize na at the end of each year, nag-gain pa rin yung pera mo. And at the same time nga, you have the perks na lang siguro yung mananalo ka ng raffle every quarter, but I don't think perks yung 6 million every quarter. Diba? And it's tax-free din. So as OFW, kasi mas mas realizable siya na amount to start with, and siguro hindi naman siguro mabigat na sa bulsa yung mag-start ka ng 500, and then as you see it, and as you parang as the months go na nakikita mo okay naman siya, and it's backed up by the Bureau of Treasury, that, like what I said earlier, you're in good hands.
Yes po. Tapos what makes this different din po kasi parang when you invest in other non-fixed rate investments, kasi parang titingnan nyo every day, every second, tumitingin kayo sa phone nyo, kaya, let's say NAV nung fund ko, yung ganun. Pero ito pwede yung iwan lang kasi, tapos matutulog kayo at night na parang hindi nag-aalala. Siguro mag-aalala lang kayo every quarter kung kayo ba yung nanalo. Pero in terms of the interest, parang hindi nyo na kailangan mag-aalala, tapos wala na kayong gagawin for redemption kasi automatically makikredit sa account nyo upon maturity yung initial na invest nyo. So wala nang problema. Tapos I think one of the parang mas, let's say, mas cheesy kumbaga na parang feature ng Premyo bonds is when you invest po kasi even 500 pesos, napupunta kasi to sa general fund ng government, which we use para sa mga programs namin to, let's say, during this time, combat the pandemic, stimulate the economy, help those mag-provide ng support for those na nawalan ng trabaho, to those that are vulnerable, yung pagbigay natin ng subsidy sa mga mahihirap na kababayan. So, even just 500 pesos na in-invest nyo, nakikita nyo na nakakatulong kayo sa Pilipinas kahit nandyan kayo sa Amerika, sa Caribbean.
Ano po ang sa terms po ng security ng investment? May security ba ang investment? Like, di ba kagaya ng shares of stocks, di ba? May fluctuation or how sure are we na makukuha yung yung interest at yung in-invest?
Well, first of all po, it's a fixed rate investment. So, ang ibig sabihin po nito, fixed yung papasok na pera sa inyo every quarter. So, as I said earlier, hindi nyo na po kailangan mag-alala kung magkano yung papasok na pera. Basta nakalista na 1.25% annually, receivable quarterly, sure kayo na yun yung papasok. Tapos, maybe, siguro, as that's a valid question din, yung more security sa pagkuha ng pera nyo after the 1 year kasi ang daming mga Filipinos na nabibiktima pa rin ng mga scam. So, yung mga government securities po kasi natin, it's backed up by the government. Kumbaga parang every time we submit our budget, automatically appropriated. Kumbaga may nakalaan na talaga na pera yung gobyerno para pambabayad sa utang. So, in a sense, nakasigurado na nasa budget na ng gobyerno na babayaran yung in-invest nyo sa Premyo bonds. So, very, very low risk talaga siya. It's the safest investment that you can get, yung mga government securities.
With your experience sa Premyo Bond 1, ilan ang percentage ng mga OFW ang nag-invest at ilan ang percentage ng mga local na hindi OFW?
Actually, I don't have the numbers yet, pero for example po dun sa bonds.ph nung nag-RTB kami tapos nag-introduce kami ng mobile application. We are getting increased numbers, like dumadami yung countries natin kung saan may mga nag-invest. I think from the Premyo bonds 1, I think yung mga overseas Filipinos na nag-invest ay from, I think it's like 15 countries or less lang. Pero when we introduced yung bonds.ph nung RTB 24, we saw investments from 25 countries na. So I think in terms of volume din, for these Premyo bonds too, we are already seeing more than 1,000 transactions na using the Overseas Filipino Bank app kasi we made it easier. Pero I mean, in terms of the size or the actual volume na na-generate ng mga OFWs natin, nandun na siya pero ma-improve pa natin kasi from the past offerings po kasi ang mga number 1 natin na OFWs na pinakamaraming mga nag-invest ay Japan, Singapore. So I hope na dyan sa Caribbean lalaban.
Hopefully. May question ako, Mark. Let's say nag-invest ako this month. I mean, yung initial investment ko, nag-invest ako, let's say, ng 5,000. And then, by March, naisipan ko, mag-invest ako ulit. Is that possible?
Yung Premyo bonds po, in-offer lang namin siya during the offer period, which is November 11 to December 11. So, ang suggestion po is, isang bultuhan nyo na lang ilagay sa when you. Okay. Pero, let's say, nag-invest kayo today, tapos naisipan nyo na you wanted to invest more kaysa bumili sa Black Friday, sa Friday, then pwede yun kasi within the offer period.
Within the period pa siya ng November 11 to December 11. So, every year, pag nag-invest, aantayin yung November 11 to December 11, that's the investment time.
Yes, apo.
And is that also ang harvest time is December, is it 18? 15? Yun yung
16.
December 16, yeah. December 16 naman yung, so if they decide to withdraw, pwede rin.
Well, when you say withdraw po, within before the 1 year is done po? Or
No,
after?
after na nung, let's say, pagdating ng December, hindi na sila mag-reinvest. So,
automatic
yun na yun.
naman, ano?
Yun na yun. Automatic
Automatic makikredit na sa account nila.
So, let's say in the middle of, from December 12 hanggang November 10, 2021, naisip nung OFW or ng investor na withdrawin nila in the middle of the year. Is that possible too? Or it's non-withdrawable within that span of time?
Unfortunately po, hindi siya withdrawable. Pero kaya ginawa rin namin na 1 year lang siya. Kasi
So
if
parang
habaan
time
pa
deposit
namin.
din siya. Parang time deposit siya.
Yes.
Is there going to be an issue kung magbabago yung administration?
Wala namang issue kasi parang of course nandiyan naman, as I said earlier, yung pagbabayad kasi namin sa utang automatically na-appropriate na siya sa budget. So kahit sinong administration, parang basta may kailangan kaming bayaran, babayaran namin yan. So, yun po.
My question dito, which term is getting the highest interest? Quarterly, 6 months, or yearly? I don't think merong term. The term is just annually, right? It's just one term. It's annual, right?
Yeah, it's annually. Yung baka yung tinutukoy po niyang term is it receivable quarterly or semi-annually. Always yung mga financial instruments naman po natin, they are quoted on an annual basis. So it's
Okay.
1 year rate. So let's say sabihin lang natin na receivable quarterly, i-divide lang siya ng 4. If it's receivable semi-annually, divide lang siya by 2. So annual rate po to.
Annual rate, yeah. Ang meron lang quarterly is receiving of the interest, right? That 1.25
Yes.
will be divided into 4 and it will be received every quarter.
Yes.
And then every quarter din ang raffle. So, ang raffle is done what day or pang ilang let's say there's a certain date, or are the investors being advised na magkakaroon ng raffle at this time, or i-announce nyo na lang over your website? Ganun ba ang ano?
Well, we announce it po, pero kasi parang, let's say, makukuha nyo kasi yung bond nyo ng December 16. So every quarter after that, dun naka-schedule yung raffle draws namin. So kung December 16, first raffle draw is March 16, next is June 16, then September 16, then yung last December 16. Tapos we announce it naman, and we also do a Facebook live nung raffle draw namin.
Is there any deduction or any administrative fee for the year? Or
wala po. Parang when you invest, you should not pay anything. Yes.
So it's a fixed kung nag-invest ka ng 500, it's 500 plus 1.5 interest at the end of each year.
Well, yung interest po is subject to tax. So yung interest income nyo is taxable, just like any other financial instrument. Yes, pero yung principal hindi po. And when you invest, wala dapat kayong babayarang mga administrative fees, mga ganun.
So malinis yung main investment mo. Only the interest is subject to tax.
Yes, even the prices are not subject to tax. Buong-buo nyo pong makukuha yung premyo.
Okay. So, yung mga app ba is ongoing na, ready na siya ngayon to be ready
yes,
na siya Anong site ang kailangan nila kung gusto mong ulitin kasi marami nang nakikinig ko, ano daw ang magandang gagawin, ano ang step by step na gagawin nila to open the app and to invest?
Well, for those na wala pang existing bank accounts sa yung mga wala pang existing Philippine bank accounts, the best thing to do is use the Overseas Filipino Bank. Yes. So download nyo lang po for free sa Google Play or sa App Store Tapos, makakapag-open na kayo ng bank account virtually, hihingan lang kayo ng selfie, ng IDs, ng picture ng ID nyo, and then you can set up your bank account in just 5 minutes or less. Tapos po, kapag tapos na kayo mag-set up ng bank account, magpunta lang kayo sa land bank remittance partners nyo or yung mga Visa Direct partners para mag-wire ng money from your, let's say, US bank account to your overseas Filipino bank account. Tapos kapag may pondo na yung OF bank account nyo, you just go to the bills payment and then pindot nyo yung Premyo bonds, input the amount to invest, and okay na. Okay na po yun. For those naman na may existing Philippine bank accounts na, you can use the bonds.ph mobile application. Kasi you just, as I said earlier, para siyang Venmo, parang siyang e-wallet. So using your Philippine bank account, let's say BDO or Metro Bank, transfer kayo ng funds to your bonds.ph wallet, cash in. You can even use GCash or PayMaya if Filipinos there use it. So yun, mapupuntahan yun na. Tapos ganoon din, through the app, bili lang, then okay na.
Okay. Yung app ba is may selection na English and Tagalog?
The app is in English po.
In English. Okay. Magkano naman po yung tax daw na aalisin dun sa interest ng investment?
20% annual withholding tax.
Ilan ulit?
20%.
20%. Okay. So, yung pag na-register na sila, may acknowledgement din yan, di ba, sa app? Nagbibigay din sila ng acknowledgement.
Yes, you will receive yung acknowledgement nyo of the sale sa immediately. May pwede kayong screenshot sa app, pero may dadating din kasing email sa inyo. And then upon settlement, which is December 16, may matatanggap kayong email ng successfully na ilipat na sa inyo sa pangalan niyo yung bonds. Tapos yun na yung magiging parang documentation niyo. Nasa email na siya.
Sa summary ko, ang ano naman nito is, ang maganda kasi nito, it's very affordable. It's one way of parang investing na affordable nga siya. Unlike like yung sinasabi ko, kung mag-invest ka ng stocks or mutual funds, which is pag ordinaryong OFW ka, parang tapos pag marami kang sinusuportahan sa Pilipinas, it's very difficult for you to invest that amount of money. Pero kung mga kagaya nitong mga investment, kagaya ng Premyo bonds, which is an investment bond, very minimal na yung 500, which is magkano lang din siya in US dollars. So, it will encourage more OFW to invest dahil at the end of the day, like, pag uwi mo sa Pilipinas, you have, an investment na alam mo nandun. And it's accessible anytime gusto mong i-check, nandun lang din siya because you can check your account online also.
Yes po.
Let's say after 1 year or after 2 years, kailangan mo bang mag-formal advice when you're going to terminate your investment?
Hindi po. If naman matatapos na siya within 1 year, after 1 year, I mean, automatic, babalik na yung pera nyo sa bank account na ginamit to purchase the bonds.
And then mag-reinvest ka na lang ulit. Or you need to advise na you just keep on rolling.
Well, yung currently yung parang process is if may Premyo bonds ulit next year, magsisend nga lang po ng email tapos advise niyo kami na you'll be rolling it. Tapos ganun na yung gagawa.
Okay. Any addition po, Conjen?
Wala naman, Michelle, Mark, thank you. Siguro the only thing that really strikes me now is listening to you and Mark's conversation, tsaka yung mga sagot ni Mark sa iyo, is that siguro nga rin I know that the Treasury, that the Bangko Sentral has always been, working towards financial inclusion ng karamihan, lalo na yung mga small investors. So, I think ang maganda din dito sa Premyo bonds na which hopefully will be an annual thing, is ito yung magpapagaan ng loob ng mga karamihan mga Pilipino who are obviously, I mean, kahit yung mga hindi naman OFW na hindi talaga institutional investors or hindi regular na nag-i-invest sa mga stock market, mutual funds or bonds, talagang hindi nila tinitingnan itong mga retail treasury bonds as an opportunity for investing, as an opportunity to help the country. So I'm hoping na with this Premyo bonds na maging annual, maging mas magaan ang loob ng mga tao towards treasury bonds at maging mas familiar tayo kung ano yan, and then so hopefully nga, aside from the Premyo bonds, people will overseas Filipinos and OFWs will start looking at yung mga ibang retail treasury bonds offerings ng treasury na binanggit ni Mark, na yung iba mas matagal yung offer period, I mean yung maturity, and then mas mataas yung mga interest rates, etc., etc. So I think this is a very useful confidence building measure para sa financial inclusion ng karamihan sa atin. So I'm really and I'm really happy na binigyan niyo ng opportunity ang Treasury, Mark.
You're very welcome po. Because we also believe that lahat po ng OFW deserves a better life when they go home. Na each OFW has to secure his future and the future of his family. So investing in bonds and, it's also a means of saving up money, because at the end of each year or at the end of each investment period, at least nagigain ka. Andun yung andun yung pera na ininvest mo. Unlike gambling, from the word gamble itself, you will know that, it's a risk. This is not risk. You're just investing. It's investment. Risk is different from investing. And that's what we want to instill also, especially in our kababayans here in Cayman Islands and in the Caribbean, to be able to know how to start investing. Like what Mark and Conjen said, ang Bureau of Treasury has other retail investments. This is just one of them. And if you want to invest more, yung medyo malalaking investment, I'm pretty sure you can go to the Bureau of Treasury website and you can check what are the other investments that they offer. So if you want a bigger rate and longer terms, they also offer that.
Tsaka siguro, Michelle, idadagdag ko rin lang na I think, si Mark and I worked on promoting Premyo Bonds 1 also last year. Si Mark was studying at that time dito sa Amerika, so nag-Facebook Live kami to promote Premyo Bonds 1, then nagtulungan din kami on the Progreso Bonds. And I think ang maibabahagi ko rin sa mga kababayan natin is that the National Treasury under the leadership of Treasurer Lea De Leon has been very responsive talaga to the concerns and to the issues na rini-raise ng mga OFWs. In fact, karamihan ng features ng Premyo Bond 2 are basically improvements already nung Premyo Bond 1 at saka yung Progreso Bonds, because precisely pinakinggan ang mga comments, mga inputs, mga suggestions, reactions ng mga OFWs dun sa mga offerings na nauna. And primarily doon yung the platforms available. Dati kasi parang halos walang platform available kapag nasa out of the country ka eh. Talagang ang pwede mo lang gawin nun, ipadala ang pera kay Mrs. at si Mrs. ang mag-i-invest over the counter sa Pilipinas. Pero ngayon, as Mark said, ang dami ng features, ang dami ng platforms kung saan pwedeng mag-invest virtually from abroad. And dati kailangan ka talaga makapag-open ng account. Ngayon, yes, kailangan ka pa rin, pero pwede mo nang gawin through the Overseas Filipino Bank, which is all virtual. Hindi ka na kailangan pumunta ng bangko, hindi ka na kailangan pumunta pa sa Pilipinas, etc. So talagang nakakatuwa yung evolution nito, and I'm hoping na 2 years, 3 years down the road, pag pinag-usapan natin yung Premyo Bond 4, 5, iba na ang mga issues natin, hindi na yung mga basic issues ng So really thank you.
Yeah, and especially po now that it's we're under the we have the pandemic.
The pandemic, yep.
Ang mga Filipinos, especially as OFW, it's very difficult for us to go home, to travel. So instead of keeping the money, holding the money with us, mas maganda pa i-invest na lang siya, because we don't know yet kung kailan tayo makaka-uwi and it's not so safe to travel. So, mas maganda na yung i-invest mo na lang siya because maybe you're expecting to go home after a year, and then after a year you're going to check, kung magro-roll over ka, susunod ka na naman, mag-i-invest ka na naman sa susunod na PB3. So, andun yung andun yung safety ng money mo na invest mo na. So, kakalimutan mo na yun at the back of your mind. And then after a year, dun ka na uli magde-decide if you want to stop the investment or you want to proceed again. Mas safer siya. At ito ang maganda, virtual siya. So you don't have to worry na wala kang bank account sa Pilipinas. You can open it virtually kasi available na yung OFW bank na overseas Filipino na
Bank.
na bank. Yeah. I'm pretty sure naman siguro yung step by step na pag-register is easier po.
Yes. We're also trying to we're planning also to start yung social media campaign namin dyan sa mga, lalo na yung underscoring kung anong platforms available for and then obviously we'll also publish the email addresses, yung binabanggit kanina ni Mark, yung email address din ng pwede yung ma-email sa embassy, sa Philippine Embassy sa Washington DC, para matulungan din kung may mga further katanungan pa tungkol dito. Michelle, I'm conscious of the time kasi baka yung mga nakikinig sa inyo, kayo, alam ko, pagod na rin kayo. It's been a long day for you guys. Siguro if mabigyan, we can ask Camille lang to just, briefly introduce yung Coca-Cola and kung meron pa siyang ibang i-introduce sa atin.
Yes.
And then kung may mga tanong ka, para lang we can round out the discussion.
Okay. Good evening po, ma'am. So, thank you for this opportunity on behalf of sa team namin dito sa Washington DC, and Congen JV is very talagang nag-initiate ng mga pwede naming maging partners, even corporate partners that we have now, para po help OFWs invest in the Philippines, lalo na po yung mga returning OFWs. And as you know, Congen is very active in Facebook sa mga reintegration programs ng TESDA, Department of Agriculture. If you notice his posts, nandun po lahat nung ginawa namin ng mga rundown ng mga programs available to returning OFWs. So pag may questions po, you can go back lang dun sa mga post ni Congen. Nandun po lahat ng information. And we will just briefly discuss. Recently, we have a partnership with Coca-Cola to promote the Balik Pinas program. So what is unique po with, well, as you all know, kahit siguro bata, alam ang Coke, lahat tayo pag may party or gatherings, cravings, di ba? Filipino food, masarap yung partner sa Coke. So, nag-launch po sila ng Balik Pinas program for OFWs. So what is unique about this project is just a brief rundown lang po. Since Coca-Cola sells about 19 brands, so not only Coke, so that includes Wilkins, Real Lifty. So yung iba pa familiar din po siguro kayo sa, syempre, Royal, Sprite. So before po kasi, napakalaki ng capital ng Coca-Cola to become a distributor. Kunyari sa province, meron akong, let's say, 500,000 na capital. So yun yung requirement nila. But now, since they want to help OFWs and attract more investments sa ating mga returning kababayans, nagkaroon po sila ng program na pwede ka na maging community reseller. So ano po ba yung community reseller nila? That aims to be, pwede ka nang magbenta as a community reseller sa mga kapitbahay mo, sa mga group chat sa social media. So medyo din ang skill nila at mas mababa na yung capital needed. Kasi di ba hindi naman po lahat, lalo na po yung mga naapektuhan nitong pandemic, wala po sila ganong kalaking capital pag uwi. So kaya dinesign po nila itong community resellers. So paano po yung mangyayari nun? So, yung program nila sa mga provinces, yung mga returning OFWs, based sa discussion namin, parang naglalabas lang sila ng ref or ng stall sa labas ng bahay. Tapos, pwede na sila as community resellers. Of course, subject po ito sa screening. Kung may mga interested po na kakilala po kayo na gustong mag-invest dito, i-refer po kayo ng Coca-Cola Philippines dun po sa area manager kung saan nagbe-belong yung ating kababayan. So, ang maganda po kasi dito, kagaya ng diniscuss po sa team namin, is hindi po ganun kalaki yung required capital kasi po community reseller. So pwede nga po kunyari mag-form ka ng group chat sa mga, let's say, kumare mo or batchmates mo, tapos magpupuli kayo ng investments, tapos kunyari gusto nyong maging community reseller sa Purokwan ng Barangay Patin. So, kumbaga kayo yung mag-distribute sa mga karinderya, sari-sari store, na tapos mas pinadali na nila yung mechanics. Hindi mga po kagaya pagka distributor ka, it requires ano po kasi, I believe mga 1 million to 2 million investment. Pero ito po, it's a downscale program of Coca-Cola, and we can give you the contact information nung Balik Pinas project team nila sa Manila para po pag may mga interested po tayong mga kababayan dyan na gusto po itry itong investment, pwede po nila madirect, i-link po namin kayo para directly i-refer sila sa screening team sa mga province or sa regional sites ng Coca-Cola if they are qualified to be a community reseller. And sabi naman po namin, na-discuss din po sa amin na they will gladly assist the OFW kung meron pong mga limitations and challenges sa mga requirements, sa mga permits. Since nangyari nga po itong COVID, this is their way of giving back to the community and in partnership also with sa lahat ng other local investment groups po. Yun po. So, kung meron po mga specific questions, meron po silang contact center na ibibigay po namin yung contact number para po yung mga interested. Kasi po, kunyari, ako, may kamag-anak po kayo sa probinsya, tapos kayo po yung OFW, pwede rin po kung mag-invest. Kahit po wala kayo physically sa Philippines, at may mga relatives po kayo or kapatid or pamangkin, pwede din po silang maging part nitong Balik Pinas project.
Do you have any idea kung magkano yung initial or minimal investment?
Actually po kasi i-refer lang when I ask that question din sa kanila, depende po kasi sa province, iba-iba po per province. So it's better daw po na pag may inquiry, i-direct sa kanila para po mabigay nila yung rundown ng cost. At kung ano lang po yung, ida-downscale lang daw po nila kung ano yung kaya ng ating kababayan according to dun sa available capital na meron sila.
So we have to contact yung mga area managers or may website pupuntahan?
No, ma'am. Meron po silang central, they created a parang contact team center para dito specifically for the Balik Pinas project, and we can share to you the brochure para po ma-send nyo po sa ating mga kababayan para
I'm pretty sure maraming maging interested nito because kahit ang unang-unang usually nagiging negosyo ng isang Pilipino is sari-sari store. And yan ang kahit siguro sa isang barangay, mahina yung 2 o 3 lang ang sari-sari store. I mean, sa isang kalsada, minsan may 5 sari-sari store. So, the more na may capacity siguro ang isang OFW na mag-invest. And at the same time, balik na naman tayo dun sa security na pag-uwi nila, they have a business na nagsisimula. Especially if they have a partner like spouse nila or kapatid nila or magulang nila who will start this business, and then when they decide to go home and return, ongoing na yung business. Palalagin na lang nila. Which is very helpful also because I mean, this is a good move of Coca-Cola to downsize also the amount of investment kasi alam natin millions ang pag-uusapan pag ganitong investment, and then
Opo.
opening their doors to OFW, it really like opens opportunity also to the OFW na medyo hindi naman ganun kalaki ang mga savings, which is really good. I hope we
Yes,
can
ma'am.
share us all the information and links and maybe lahat ng
Yes, ma'am.
sites na mga sites and na pwedeng maging very very informative dun sa mga gustong mag-invest sa Balik Pinas program na na
Yes, ma'am. Yes po, we can share po yung brochure po nila, and ang kagandahan po nito actually is nag-start siya I believe sa Naga. So parang testing project lang siya last year since 'di ba maraming calamities na dumaan, maraming nag-uwi ang OFWs until we saw the potential na why not let's downscale the capital so that everyone limited lang yung naiuwing pera na lay off from COVID can also have a chance to grow their money even with the
this is
minimal investment. So it is
really a good move, especially ang daming umuwing Pilipino na and then they don't know where to start. So with this small amount of money na pwede nilang i-invest. And alam nating lahat kung gaano kaganda ang market ng soda, ng soft drinks. So, nang halian ka lang, maghanap ka ng soda. If you get together, maghanap ka ng soda. So, magandang move to talaga, and integrating it with the OFW, having this kind of program. We're really glad that the government is doing, all going to different avenues just to help also the OFW to have a secure future, financially secure sila, especially pag umuwi na. Yeah. Anything more to add, Ms. Camille, or
yun lang po yung main po, kagaya po nung nasabi ko, we can send you yung available links with other government agencies, kagaya po yung pinopost ni Conjon sa Facebook. Nandun po lahat ng contact information, and if you need further information po dun sa mga programs ng government, you can keep in touch with us para po ma-elaborate namin yung mga mechanics po na or inquiries na kailangan po ng mga kababayan natin. But we're happy to share about the Balik Pinas project of Coca-Cola, and we hope may mga interested po na makapag-invest
I'm pretty
po
sure
dito sa
meron.
initiative
Meron na nga
ng
nagtanong
Coca-Cola.
dito na, for example, is there any additional like equipment na pwedeng i-provide ng Coca-Cola if they decide to invest, like yung delivery vehicle na pwedeng gamitin?
Yes, ma'am. Dun po sa mga technical questions, they can direct it to the contact center. Pero kagaya nga po, as a community reseller, since maliit yung capital, they've discussed with us na as long as kunyari may bibigay sila ng mga cold drink equipment, yung mga parang maliliit na refrigerators ng Coca-Cola with their branding, of course. Kasama po yun dun sa package na pwedeng i-avail
I'm pretty
po
sure
nila.
naman, especially Coca-Cola, it's an established, well-established company. So, andun na yung mga marketing assistants, and you don't really have to market the product kasi kilala na. So, andun na yung andun na yung alam na ng tao, all you need to do is really to sign up, to invest din dito sa Coca-Cola as reseller.
Yes, ma'am. So yes, we will share all the contact information para may yung mga gustong mag-start ng opportunity na if you can help us spread the word.
So this is only for OFW, right? They kailangan qualified ka na OFW. Kahit umuwi ka na, of course. Kasi,
Yes, ma'am. actually, this is yun nga yung part of their corporate social responsibility. They really want to assist returning OFWs. But of course, conditional if, nasabi ko nga, if OFW ka, tas may gusto kang kamag-anak na i-refer dito, it's subject po sa approval ng sa head office nila or sa regional sites. But mainly, they designed this program dun po sa mga returning kababayans natin that would want an investment opportunity.
Yeah, napakaganda. Maraming tawag dito, maraming magiging excited sa mga investments na pinag-uusapan natin ngayon. Like yung sa Premyo Bond and also itong sa Balik Pinas program ng tie-up ng Coca-Cola. Conjen, napaka-ano nitong gabi nito. It is very informative, very parang nabuhayan, maraming mabubuhayan ng dugo nito. You know, it makes OFW, at least we have options, you know, if, or you can do both para hindi naman you can have the new bonds and at the same time yung asawa or kamag-anak sa Pilipinas can start a business na rin. Para, kasi ito namang Premyo bonds natutulog lang siya Itong yung sa Coca-Cola reseller talagang active ka. So medyo balance siya.
Yeah. No, I think Michelle, I hope I'm right, pero pag tiningnan mo kasi ang social media, isa sa I think magandang nangyari, I mean, to the extent na pwede mong tawaging magandang nangyari out of COVID is really yung nabuhay or nahanap ng karamihan ng Pilipino yung sense or yung spirit of entrepreneurship. Kasi nakita mo talaga ngayon, I mean, there's so much entrepreneurship on social media, on, yun, sabi nga ni Camille, sa mga group chat, sa mga ganyan. So, hopefully nga, with all of these projects, and I think yung, kapag nalulungkot tayo sa mga nangyayari, yun, isipin lang palagi natin yung, yung the spirit of bayanihan. Yung kayo dyan, nakita natin yung bayanihan ninyo sa Cayman over the last few months, yung kung ilan ang napauwi ninyo, ng libre, etc. So I think ito, the Premyo bonds, the Coca-Cola Balik Pinas program is essentially just a part of that broader bayanihan effort ng buong sambayanan. So I think everyone's just doing their part. And thank you so much for giving Mark and Camille the opportunity tonight to share all of this.
Kami din po, maraming salamat din. Yung information po with this more than an hour, parang busog kami sa information with na-share ni Mark at share ni Camille. Like, hindi naging boring ang conversation na to. Parang umiikot na yung utak ng, I'm pretty sure yung mga nanonood, umiikot na ang utak. Ano kaya gagawin ko? But isa lang masasabi ko, balance itong dalawang to is either, it's an active reselling or andyan lang yung pera mo, but you're investing and it's growing and you have a chance to win every quarter. Why not? It's really a good way of, investing your money to secure your future. Conjen, pwede ba tayong tumanggap ng questions about passport?
Sige. Pero siguro in the meantime, maybe, we can, if Mark needs to, I know it's Saturday morning already in Manila, and si Camille, I know it's also been a long week. She's a frontliner namin din sa consular, so
it's late there too.
They can, we can excuse them, but I'm happy to stay on for a few minutes.
Again po, our deepest thanks po sa dalawa, kay Mark at kay Camille. Very young Filipinos po, but full of knowledge, full of talent, and full of energy po to share and to give good information to OFW. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mark, Camille, here. Okay, you can. Good night, Camille.
Thank you, guys.
Happy weekend, Mark.
Happy weekend. Happy weekend. Conjen, ano lang to, very short.
Yeah, sure, no
lang
problem.
po ito sa, yung passport extension po, 1 year applicant, malapit na pong mag-lapse. Ano pong...
Okay. Yun ang problema natin kasi ang passport extension is only enough for 1 year. It's only, I mean, it's for 1 year and it's only for one time. So talagang hindi na pwedeng ma-extend ulit yan. So ang options natin would be one, kung to the extent na may balak umuwi ng Pilipinas, umuwi either before mag-expire ang passport or kung mag-expire na, kukuha tayo ng travel document tapos sa Pilipinas mag-renew. Now, kung talagang hindi makakauwi for whatever reason at nag-expire dyan, so obviously mag-aantay po tayo na either one, mag-aantay tayo na magkaroon ng outreach para ma-renew or kung kailangang umuwi bago dumating ang outreach, magtra-travel document para makauwi ng Pilipinas. But in the meantime, kung kailangan niya ng some sort of documentation for renewal of work visa, work permit, meron tayo tinatawag na certification na ini-issue namin. So ini-issue namin na ito si Juan de la Cruz, isang Filipino citizen, may hawak siyang expired passport number 12345. Eligible sana siya for renewal except na because of COVID, walang outreach, so hindi siya makabiyahe din. So pero in the next opportunity na may outreach or makauwi siyang Pilipinas, he would be entitled to a Philippine passport. So yun yung sinicertify namin. At
through email lang po
ko,
ito. Through email.
So,
pwede through email.
pinapadala po yung hard
Papadala
copy.
talaga. Okay.
May konting proseso yan. So ipapadala ang hard copy. So yun. And then we can, we have some sort of understanding with the host government na that will be accepted as part of the application package kung merong kailangan renewal for work permit or work visa.
Kung magre-renewal po, they just have to send the documents po sa Washington.
Yes.
Okay. With the old passport po.
Yes.
Or not sure. Or with the old passport.
Yes, with the old passport. Or I'm not sure kung copy lang ang hinihingi namin. I have to double check that, ha. Pero
or kailangan kong i-notarize muna ni Kuya Art or i-authenticate ni Kuya Art yung documents kung photocopy. Kasi
hindi ata, Michelle. Alam mo, I will let me find out on that and then I will let you know. Basta ang importante lang, whatever man, they need to get in touch with us first. So mag-i-email sila kasi papadalhan sila nung form. Although kung pupunta sila kay Kuya Art, I think Kuya Art already has all the forms and etc.
Yes po. Okay po. So kagaya ng nasabi ninyo, wala pang schedule ng outreach program?
Wala pa. Well, one, we're waiting for the budget. So, as you know, pinag-usapan pa rin sa Pilipinas. So, kailangan muna natin ma-assure yung budget. But secondly, also, we're waiting for the health situation to be clarified. Pero what I can assure yung mga kababayans natin is that obviously, very important yung the entire Caribbean for us dahil nga alam namin yung issues of passport expirings, etc. At the same time po, we're working with your host governments to ensure then na makahanap tayo ng mga stopgap measures in case matagalan pa ng konti yung pagpunta namin dyan.
So yung mga expiring po next year ng mga passport, pwede na pong i-forward sa inyo yung mga documents. Mag-email na po na makakuha ng details.
Yeah, right now I think up to first quarter, second quarter minsan pwede nang ipadala para masimulan na.
Yes, okay. Kasi hindi pa tayo sure sa vaccine po.
I know.
Yeah. So, yun lang po naman. Hindi na we will not hold you anymore kasi alam namin
hindi naman walang problema.
So, maraming salamat din po. Napakaganda po ng conversation natin with
I know. Thank you to you for I think you did an excellent job
Salamat.
making sure na everyone was awake and everyone was listening. Si Dion, parang naririnig ko, nag-open na ata ng OF bank account eh. Dion,
Ako talaga ako dyan, pag-remember ako.
Dion, can I just remind you, 10 million lang ang maximum
Opo,
para dun sa premyo.
Hindi pala pwede ang ano, hindi pala pwede
palampasin ng
25.
10 million.
Mapupunta na po sa kanya lahat ng ticket.
Exactly.
Ano po, hindi nyo lang po alam, more than 10 po kami rito. Nandito po lahat ng mga officers po ng bayanihan po at in support naman po sa inyo. Para po sa, at nakikinig din po sila and very excited po sila. Ayan po sila.
Hello po. Thank you for joining us.
Hindi ako maka-privilege. It's a very fruitful night po. Lahat gising.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you. No, maraming salamat talaga and thank you for everything that you guys are doing, ha.
Okay.
Dito ko i-close mo ulit.
May question ka?
Ikaw, paalam ka.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Okay. Good night. So maraming salamat, ha. So,
Maraming
salamat.
Huwag kayo magsasawa. Next time po ulit, kung may mga programs po kayo or anything po na gusto
definitely.
po ninyong i-discuss, we'll gladly find time po para ma-share nyo po dito, especially po sa kababayan natin sa Cayman po. Maraming salamat.
Ma-add ko lang po. Bali, nagbuo po kami ng program committee sa Cayman Bayanihan. Nasabi ko po kasi dun sa committee na yun na magkakaroon na ng regular show ang Cayman Bayanihan show on a Saturday or Friday.
Okay.
Sabi ko sa kanila, para mag-continue siya, dapat hindi lang ako. Kailangan may kasama ako para magtuloy-tuloy.
Okay.
So, we will be actively doing that, yung Cayman Bayanihan show, either a Friday or Saturday.
Okay.
And it might be on a like 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
So, siguro to try po namin yun na mangyari. Ang target namin talaga doon po ay sa January pa. Pero kung meron po kayong gustong i-broadcast dito sa Grand Cayman, we're always ready for you po.
Welcome
Okay.
po.
No, thank you. Yeah. No, definitely. I think it's an important partnership. It's an important work yung ginagawa ninyo in helping us disseminate information. Kasi alam naman ninyo, kayo ang pinakamalaking community in the Caribbean. So talagang napakahalaga din na we're engaged sa inyong lahat.
Okay po. At maraming salamat po ulit sa time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sa pagbahagi po sa amin ng mga information po na makakatulong po sa mga OFW po dito sa sa Cayman Islands po. Maraming salamat po ulit.
Okay, sige. Thank you. Mabuhay po kayo lahat.
You have a good weekend po. At God
Okay,
bless.
salamat kayo din.
Okay. Thank you po.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Ba't pumapino ni Sir Dion?
Nailangan lang. Teka.
Nailawan lang.
Naiihi na. Iuwi ko yung ilaw na yan.
Guys, alam mo nung sumama ako, tingnan yung viewers. Dumami. Wala tayong magagawa. Talagang ganun eh. Ayan na.
Okay.
Next part of the program.
Next part of the program. By 10 o'clock pala, no?